True. Hi everyone, welcome. I can see we have 12 persons here now. We'll be starting in about 2 minutes, so we see you, we appreciate you taking out your time to come here to join us for this live session in about 2 minutes. Thereabout, we'll be starting proper. In case you're wondering what this is about, well, it's the season of love and we want to show you love. We want to show your hair love. And it's a big reveal, let's say official, unofficial reveal, because a lot of people already have an idea what it's about. But we are revealing one of our ambassadors and the results from his hair procedure. So you don't want to miss this. If you have joined, kindly stay. Feel free to share with your friends, your family as well, because you're going to learn a thing or two about hair procedures, especially the ones that you need if you do, and you would know someone who knows someone who also needs something like that. So welcome one, welcome all. We're waiting for more people to join in about a minute. We'll be starting proper. Do well to share the link to your friends, to your family. We're waiting. Thank you so much for joining. We'll be starting shortly. Thank you so much to everyone who has joined. We can increase the numbers by sharing with our friends, our family members, whoever you think needs the information we're about to give. And like I said, it's a big reveal. It's a season of love, and we're just showing you love in our own little way. So feel free to join. Share the link to someone else to join. In a few seconds, we're starting. Right. We're starting in a few seconds. Welcome to those who have joined. All right. Okay. I think we're good to go. Once again, I want to say thank you for taking time to be here today. It's a Friday, and I'm sure we're gearing up for Valentine's, or let me come closer, for the weekend. But yes, it's a season of love, and like I said earlier, we're all showing love. This is our own way of showing love. You know already that we are all about bringing good news about your confidence, your hair restoration. We're showing love to your hair basically, and that's one of the reasons why we're here. It's going to be a short live session, but I want to ask that you please engage by asking questions, because you already know that this is usually one-off, right? So you get random opportunities like this where we come on live and answer all your questions. So if there's any question that has been burning in your mind and you want to ask us, this is the perfect opportunity. And I did also mention that today is the big reveal, official, unofficial reveal, because like I said, some of you already know what we're talking about, but today is the big reveal of one of our ambassadors and the results from his hair procedure. So today, basically, what we're about to do is reveal the results that we have from our ambassador, who will be joining us shortly, and we'll have him tell the story of how the procedure was. For those who have been wondering, how is hair procedure with Vinci Hair Clinic, today is the day you find out from the horse's mouth, or did I say from the ambassador's mouth. It's not a horse, but today is the day you find out from him. And aside his own personal story, we would also have our expert doctor, Dr. Eluba, sharing the story, the procedure, how it went, everything you need to know about the procedures. And of course, we'll be telling you about the facilities, the facility that we have at our clinic, how we are second to none, if I do say so myself. And of course, our Vinci Africa CEO, Mr. Ayo Tomajo, will also be telling us that. So it's going to be a packed IG Live. That's why I say share the link with a friend, a family member who needs this information, this is how we show love, right? So we still have a few more seconds to do that. We're starting proper now, but please feel free to share the link so more people can join. Welcome Natasha, welcome Nidromo, welcome everyone. So let's go straight to it so that we don't waste any more time. Like I said, this is going to be a big reveal, but at the same time, we're going to be answering all your questions. So please do well to drop your question in the comment section. I will be reading it personally, and then we'll be answering the questions. You're covered because we have everyone here who can answer your question. So do well to drop your question. There's no particular time to drop the question. You can start dropping your question now as we proceed, and then towards the end, we'll answer all the questions at once. So we will definitely see your questions. We would definitely do justice to it. So in the meantime, I would also like to say that first of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Blessings Musulu, and a lot of people have seen my face. I am the presenter for Vinci Hair Clinic, Nigeria, and today it's a merger basically. So we're bringing you information from Vinci Hair Clinic Nigeria and Vinci Hair Clinic Ghana. You already know by now that we are global. And my amazing guest, I did say that our ambassador will be joining us shortly, and that is none other than Prince David Osei. But in the meantime, we have with us Vinci Hair Clinic Africa hair transplant surgeon, our professional surgeon, Dr. Emmanuel Iluba, who you're looking at right there. And we also have Vinci Hair Clinic Africa CEO, Mr. Ayo Otubanjo. And they, like I said, will be doing justice to both the reveal that we'll be having and, of course, all the questions that will be coming in. So while we wait for our brand ambassador, Prince David Osei, to join, I just want to quickly tell you that the reason that we're having this basically is to tell you about the hair transplant results, which you'll be seeing in a minute, and also tell you how Vinci Hair can help you when it comes to rebuilding the confidence for your hair, when it comes to getting that perfect and getting the dream hair that you've always wanted. Trust me, it's not far-fetched. And I know that I don't want to be too forward, but already you know that Vinci Hair Clinic offers free consultation. So this is my opportunity to reiterate that in case you never knew, and in case you're getting discouraged about the consultation fee. I don't know where you've been to, but here we don't charge for consultation. So that said, we are a trusted leader in hair transplant procedure, and that's what we are going to emphasize here today. So without wasting time, I would like to put Dr. Iluba on the spot while we wait for our brand ambassador. Now, we know that Prince David Osei had his hair transplant done with Vinci Hair Clinic, and we will be doing the big reveal, but I would like to ask you what the procedure was like from maybe start to finish. What were the key things? What are the key things to note? What were the pre-procedure activities, or what were the post-procedure activities? What are the things that you would like to share with us about the procedure?
Okay, hi everyone. Good evening, Blessings and Mr. Ayo. I hope you can hear me clearly.
Yes, loud and clear.
Okay, so I'll just run us through what the procedure we did is, and the timeline of events since it happened. So what we did was what we call an FUE hair transplant. Yeah, so FUE is short for a follicular unit extraction. So that is the name given to the procedure that we do. So it's a minimally invasive procedure, and it just involves taking hair follicles from a donor area which we identify and using those follicles that we've extracted or taken, to implant in an area experiencing hair loss. So in the case of Prince, I'll try to personalize all these definitions to him and what we did with his procedure. So obviously, the first step was looking at what type of hair loss he was experiencing, which is where, a consultation comes in very handy. So we were able to identify that he was experiencing the male pattern baldness, what we call androgenic or androgenetic alopecia. So that led us to trying to gauge, is he a good candidate for a transplant in the first place? So we have a scale that we use to measure the extent of hair loss. So when people are experiencing this male pattern baldness, we try to use that scale to identify how extensive the hair loss is, and we call that scale the Norwood scale. So using the Norwood scale, we're able to see that Prince fell between, a stage 2, stage 3 hair loss. Yeah, so it was around the Norwood 3 hair loss. So that meant that for a procedure like a transplant, he'll be a good candidate because Norwood 3 means that he has extensive hair loss at the corners of the head, going deep, but no involvement of the crown and no involvement of the prospective donor area, which is around the sides and the back of the head. So when we identified that, it was now easy to say, okay, you are a good candidate. The next thing was, I had to meet him and do an examination of the scalp. So, you cannot really jump any of these steps because we need to ensure that you're a good candidate before you say, okay, yes, I want to have a hair transplant, which is why we always emphasize the importance of our consultations beforehand. You have to have a consultation, and I mean it's free, so you don't need to worry about anything with the consultation. Just come in, book a consultation. So with Prince, we were able to examine his scalp, and we saw that he had a fantastic condition of the scalp. We saw that we would be able to get as much hair as we wanted. So before then, we now gave the first procedure. He had a PRP. The PRP is just the platelet-rich plasma treatment that we do in anticipation and in preparation for the actual surgery. So we try to do this as early as 2 weeks before the procedure happens. So it just puts your scalp in the best condition before the procedure, basically, and helps to just force those hairs that are not in the growth phase, kind of pushes them to be in the growth phase and conditions your scalp so that when we now do the procedure, the chances of success are boosted. So, I mean, we've gone through what the pre-transplant procedure was like. That was the consultation, the examination, and the PRPs all happened prior to the transplant. So on the day of the surgery itself, he came, and then that's when we did the hairline design. So in conjunction with him, we're able to map out how we wanted the hairline to look, the new hairline. We chose something natural, we chose something subtle, but something that would cover all the areas of hair loss. And so, if we want to just give out some numbers, for him especially, we had as much as 45 to 50 centimeters square of hair loss that we needed to cover. Yeah. And we now decided that, okay, what density are we working with? To have a successful procedure, you want to work with above 40 centimeters per square or per square centimeter. Yeah. You want to put as much as 40 follicles per square centimeter to get a very good result. And with Prince, we were able to achieve as much as 50 to 70 follicles per square centimeter. So at the end of the day, we did over 3,000 grafts, which for a Norwood 3 is an excellent procedure. Yeah. So we're able to do over 3,000 follicles at the end of the day, and it was well tolerated, had no immediate complications post-op. Bleeding was minimal, and we're able to easily manage all sorts of pain or swelling in the immediate post-op period with just medication. The donor area healed in about 4 days to a week. So in fact, he shared some pictures just 4 days after where there was no bleeding, there was no sign that anything was taken really, which was already a good indicator that, the healing was great. And this even brings me back to something that, I did not mention, which was, okay, Praise just joined. Yeah, this brings me back to
Hi.
mentioned, which was, which I,
Okay,
hello.
go ahead. worry, I'll do a proper introduction for Prince.
Okay, okay. Which was the blood work. So it's also important to do things like the blood work, the test beforehand, to ensure that the client is in the best condition to get this surgery done. So as early as 4 days to a week after, the donor area was looking healed. We're happy with that. And then things like itching, swelling, those are normal reactions you expect after a hair transplant. They were kept to a minimum, and we're able to just prescribe some medications over the counter, which helped with all of that. We had the first, by 10 days after the procedure, 10 days to 2 weeks, all the scabs from the recipient area had fallen off. Yeah? So his was 10 days to 2 weeks, and we're good with that. And then we're able to do the first PRP about a month later. So this is basically just giving a rundown of the numbers involved in the surgery and the timeline too for him particularly. Uh, we also so I must commend his aftercare. He I stayed in close contact with him throughout the period of aftercare. And for him, I think it was very vital that he paid attention to a lot of details. The first wash was done. Around 4 days after the procedure. That was when the first wash was done. So I guided him through that process. About 3 more washes after, all the scabs were off, which was by day 10. So that was it. So about 3 months later, at the 3 month mark, we began to see the first signs of hair growth, which is in keeping with the timeline that we try to tell clients. Everything for the first 3 months is basically your hair just healing and taking roots. So by the 3 month mark, we're able to see the first signs of hair growth. As of today, it's about 4 months and 18 days post-op. So anything we see today in reality is about 20% of expected growth, So from now up until the 9 month mark, the 12-month mark, we expect the density to increase by as much as 80%. So just to keep that in mind, that whatever we're even seeing today is about 20 to 30%, right? So that was basically everything that has to do with his procedure and what we did. Yeah.
All right, thank you so much, Dr. Aluba. That was extensive, and I would have loved to ask you some questions, but we have Prince here now, so I would also want to hear his own story, his own part of the journey. So without wasting time, let me introduce our ambassador, Prince David Osei, a Ghanaian actor, a model, a producer, director, and philanthropist. He has featured in many Ghanaian and Nigerian movies, as you know, and more recently in a British movie. So, Prince David Osei, welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Hi, thank you for having me. Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are.
Good day. It's great to have you join us. First, let me start by asking, how are you feeling today?
I'm good. I'm good.
All right, great. So before you joined, we had done a pre-introduction about what the live session is about, and we did say that today is the big official, unofficial review, because I'm sure that a lot of your followers have seen it on your page. The perfect hairline, and everybody's wondering how did that come about. Well, today is the day to answer all the questions. So once again, thanks for joining us. Dr. Aluba here has given an overview of what the procedure was like, and we would like to hear from you what the journey was like. What was the reason that you chose to embark on this journey, and why did you choose to embark on the journey with Vinci Hair Clinic? Let's start from there.
Okay, so good evening to the wonderful viewers, those that have joined in. I noticed, my hair was receding long time ago, and I didn't really pay attention to it. It wasn't really a bother to me because I think I carry my own confidence with me wherever I go. So I wasn't really bothered. But friends around me kept telling me, "Yo, you're losing your hair. Your hair is going, and you need to do something about it." So I think finally I decided to be going bald and just leave my beards like that. Then, I heard of my friend Harold. He went to Turkey to have his hair transplant, and I was inspired by that. I also saw some other people like Iko Bona came to Vinci Hair. So funny enough, I tried reaching out to Vinci Hair many years ago, but I think for whatever reason, communication wasn't really effective. So I decided to go to Turkey to do it on my own. I said to myself, okay, since my friends are really bothered about my receding hairline, let me just go to Turkey and have it done. So I actually spoke to some of the people there, and they were like, oh, because I'm a brand, they were going to do it for me for free, but we needed to, get into some documentation. Then I would promote their outfit so we could get more people to come to Turkey and do it. Funny enough, just when I was contemplating on going to Turkey, I got a call from Vinci Hair Clinic. And I'm like, is this a coincidence? So we met, we spoke, and I was really impressed with the offer that was on the table. So it made it very easy for me. And, this is Ghana, this is Lagos, Nigeria. These are areas I'm familiar with because Turkey, I don't really know Istanbul or Antalya. I don't really know the place. I don't know what will happen if something goes wrong. But I could trust my life with Lagos, Nigeria, Ghana. So that is how we started talking. And, we came into a very, good collaboration. And today, here we are. Yeah. So mainly that's the genesis. Yeah.
Great. So very quickly, let me ask you, did you think that it was possible to get such procedure without going to Turkey before you encountered Vinci Clinic?
Proud to me making that decision. I had seen pictures and videos from Vinci here. I've seen it around at TV3, where the office is located. And I saw Ike Budna, going for MSP. So I said, okay, if these people are really serious, then, it can be done in Ghana here. But I didn't know the procedure. I didn't know what it entails. I just felt like, okay, let me give it a try. And coincidentally, they were also looking for me. I'm sure they watched some of my movies and saw that I was losing my hair. Like, let's help you.
Alright. Okay, so Dr. Uba has talked about the journey, and I want to hear from your own side. How was the journey for you? The before the procedure, during the procedure, was it a painful procedure? And he also commended your aftercare practices. So what was it like for you? The pre-procedure, the post-procedure. What was the journey like for you?
Okay, so it's all about boldness. It's all about being confident at what you want to do. I never had any reservation or any doubts or anything. I was just very optimistic about it. But we started with a PRP, where they take my blood sample and use the platelet inject on my head. And that was the first time a needle was going on my scalp. I've never seen that before. I've never experienced it. So I thought it was going to be a big deal, like, you being point with a needle on your scalp. But it was cool because they had to give me a bit of anesthesia so I don't feel the pains. So it was okay. So we started with the injection, the PRP. Then subsequently, they prepped me up for the surgery itself. And I must commend Dr. Alubo. He's very good. He made it very easy for me because, I had little doubt here and there. What if it doesn't go well? What if? And, he and Mr. Ayo, rest assured me, this is what they do. They've been doing it. People have been coming in and out of the clinic having it. So it's not a big deal. And yeah. So we prepped for the surgery, and how long was it? Was it 3 hours or 4 hours? I don't remember, but
Yeah,
it was good. And just
4 to 5
sorry,
hours.
yeah,
4 to 5 hours.
and just after the surgery, I was drinking. What was I drinking? Was it malt or I was drinking some drink? I was okay. I wasn't expecting that fast recovery. It was a few days later that I, started seeing some of the effects. So it was good.
So you enjoyed the procedure so much you didn't even know it was up to 4 to 5 hours. That's a good.
No.
But how would you say that the result has made you feel in terms of your confidence?
Oh, now a lot of, young girls are, coming into my DM. I didn't know they like hairline so much, but I'm married. I never knew it was a problem. Seriously, I
Wow.
didn't know. So I was asking myself, so all this while I was doing movie with this divided hairline, whatever. People still loved me. So why now everybody goes, oh, you're looking good, So hairline really matters, I guess. Seriously, I didn't know.
And what would you say about your experience with Vinci Hair Clinic? I know you did say that Dr. Luba and Mr. Ayo made you feel confident. What would you say generally was your experience with Vinci Hair Clinic?
So far, so good experience. It's one to talk about forever. The entire staff in Lagos, the office, everybody was up to the task. When we got into the surgery room, everybody made sure they knew what they were about, took all the necessary precautions. And, whenever I felt like, I was tired or I was whatever, just left with some small follicles and we'll go. Just left with some small, they kept, encouraging me. And before I knew it, we're done. Just like that.
All right. Thank you so much for sharing your story. We still have some questions for you, I'm sure. From the viewers. But Dr. Luba had spoken earlier. Now, before I let Mr. Ayo speak, I also have some questions to ask Dr. Luba before asking the general questions. Now, Dr. Luba, you've talked about the procedure. I would like to find out what the timeline of recovery and results are. You did mention that what we're seeing now on Prince is about 20%, and we're still expecting more results. What is the timeline, and what is it going to look like basically after the timeline?
Okay, so I'd just like to reiterate, and hi Prince, I don't think I've said hi to you yet.
Hi, bro.
Yes. So the first 3 months after the procedure is done is basically just the healing phase. We just do, for the first 3 months, we don't even expect to see a lot of signs of growth. So it's just healing. You know that when we implant the grafts, they have to grow downwards first before they grow, before they sprout hair. So they have to form new blood vessel connections. They have to, heal properly before they start growing out. So the first 3 months, you're basically just looking at healing. And then from the 4th month, we have just a light shade of growth, depending on the density of what you've done. So if you've done a lot, you have more density, just a light shade. And then we expect that to grow by as much as 80% over the next 6 months. That's leading up to the 9th month, yeah? So we can only say that a hair transplant procedure is fully, we're looking at the full results after a full cycle of growth in about 9 to 12 months, right? So for the recovery, the healing, in a week, the donor area should be healed. In less than 2 weeks, the recipient area should have all the scabs off. In Prince's case, in 4 days to a week, the donor area was healed. And in 10 days, the scabs were off. So, I think he did an excellent job with the aftercare, like I keep saying. And then it's important to also note again that what we're seeing now, today is, I don't know if Prince has been counting, but today is exactly 4 months and 18 days after his procedure. 4 months and 18 days.
I thought it was more than that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought.
With the results we're seeing, really, it looks like it's more than
so
that.
much in a hurry.
Yeah. And what that means is that whatever we're seeing now is 20 to 30% of the potential hair growth at the end of the cycle. So it just means that, I'm looking forward to an afro if possible.
I swear.
Yeah,
I swear down.
And it
also
means more ladies in your DM, so get ready.
Oh, unfortunately, I'm married with 3 kids, so I don't know how I'm going to do that.
Oh, you have to manage Okay, but also, I think that a lot of people will be interested to know whether or not there is a downtime, what the maintenance is like. I think you mentioned, you also commended his aftercare, but you didn't exactly mention what the maintenance would be like. And then I think for the pain, we haven't exactly spoken intensively on that as well. So could you please speak on that?
Okay, so I mean, the procedure is done under local anesthesia. So when we talk about pain, I'll talk about intra-op pain and post-op. So intra-op, it's almost touted to be a painless procedure because it's done under anesthesia. So you'd have some local anesthesia injected into the areas that we'll be working on. So we don't expect any pain during the procedure. And there'll be some discomfort when we're injecting the anesthesia, which is expected. I mean, a needle is going into your scalp, but afterwards, you don't feel any pain. So the immediate post-op period, most of the patients that we've worked on, clients we've worked on, have described this as discomfort and not really pain. So it's obvious that something was done on your head, but you don't, it's not pain that will disrupt your daily activities. So in terms of downtime, there's little to no downtime. We do these procedures for people who are working professionals. And somehow, over the years, in the thousands, hundreds and thousands of people we've attended to, they're always able to find ways to merge this with work. So in terms of downtime, is one of the safest procedures to do because you would always find a way to go around the pain factor. We can expect some swelling in cases, and this is not for everyone. The few exceptions where we have swelling, facial swelling doesn't last more than 24 to 48 hours, right? So these are things that, in the worst case, we tell people you could take a day or two off work and you're good. If you're especially concerned about, or you're working in a client-facing role where you'll be quite conscious of your looks, we'll find ways to do it on days when we could incorporate the weekend, and by Monday you're good to go. So there's always a solution to most of these concerns that people have in terms of downtime. What else have I not spoken about? Yeah, so pain intra-op, almost only discomfort when we're injecting. I mean, you'd feel the needle, but afterwards you don't feel it. Post-op, any discomfort can easily be managed with painkillers. We do prescribe some medication to help you along with the pain. So that's as much as it goes with that.
All right, great. I think that we're going to move the rest of the questions to when we're taking questions from the general viewers. So it's time for us to bring up the person who's going to tell us more about the clinic itself, the facility that we have. I did mention that we're second to none. I don't stand corrected. We are indeed second to none. So I'm going to hand over now to Vinci Hair Clinic Africa CEO, Mr. Ayo Otubajo, and of course I'll be asking him some questions, but please join me as I make welcome. I know you can't clap, but maybe just give a virtual clap or something. Thank you so much for joining us, sir.
Thank you.
All right, so I would like for you to give us an overview of what Vinci Hair Clinic is all about and how we compare to the international brands that other people recognize.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you very much, Blessings. Thank you for the introduction. Thank you to my fellow participants. It's wonderful, all the things I've heard about the clinic, your procedure, from the experts themselves. Vinci Hair Clinic is a global medical aesthetics clinic. We have about 30 clinics in 14 countries. We are arguably the largest, in fact, it's not even arguably, we are definitely the largest hair restoration clinic in the world because of the coverage that we have. I don't think there's any continent that we don't have a clinic or more than 5 clinics. So that shows the breadth of our network. We've been around for over 25 years. which is a lot more than you could say for certainly our competitors in this part of the world. We have been in Nigeria, or in West Africa, shall I say, over the last 10 years. And we were the pioneers. And we're still by far the biggest hair restoration clinic. I mean, in fact, we are the only one. Because what we consider to be competitors are not really competitors. They're people who are dipping their toes in the water to see whether there's anything there for them. We do nothing apart from hair restoration. That is our specialty. That is our forte. We started doing transplants in Lagos, Nigeria, about 10 years ago, coming up to about 10 years actually. We have built up such a wealth of expertise and experience in the field. We have some incredibly talented medical doctors, medical team, who have come to us totally fresh, without any preconceptions about hair transplant or hair loss treatment. But we've been able to give them such solid training. We have a training center, world-class training center in Brazil, which is where our trainer is mainly based. And we have a modern way of actually imparting knowledge, through the internet, through online training and through, monitoring basically. So we've basically created a very knowledgeable, very experienced, but very skillful medical team, in the process. So, I mean, people say, oh, well, I've known about the Turkey hair transplant clinics and the likes. But, my feeling, my view is, why would you want to travel all the way to Turkey from West Africa when you have a clinic right next door to you? Right next door to you. I mean, if you think about the cost of travel, think about the inconvenience, think about all that, when you could have the same, in fact, better quality of treatment. Because one of the things about the Turkish clinics, and I don't want to belittle Turkish competitors, they're not really, experts in Afro hair. Maybe they do one Afro hair in every 100 transplants they do, maybe even less, who knows. We are totally Afro hair specialists. I would say the reverse is actually ours, that we do maybe out of every 100 transplants, 99 would be of African origin. So we know what Afro hair and the unique aspects of Afro hair is like, because it's not the same as Caucasian hair. And this is one of the expertise that our medical doctors and our medical team have basically acquired over several years of working in the clinic. So, after care, we have impeccable follow-up processes. So once you've done a transplant, I mean, Dr. Luba referred to the quarterly PRP or platelet-rich plasma therapy that we do. Aftercare, that's yet again another reason why you don't need to go all the way to Turkey. Because are you going to be flying back to Turkey every so often just to get your aftercare? I mean, think of the expense. It probably cost about $2,000 for airfare to Turkey alone. So we offer, and this is the thing, we offer free aftercare. So you're not paying for anything once you pay for your transplant. And if I could, cost what the aftercare treatment cost, you're basically looking at about $1,000 that you're saving of aftercare just by coming in and having your procedure with us. So there is, I mean, in terms of decision making, the choice is very clear, very clear. You're coming to a clinic with a lot of expertise, with very skillful doctors, well experienced, and you have the aftercare that you require to make sure you get the best result possible. I mean, if you look at Prince David's results, just after 3-4 months, incredible. I mean, a lot of that is to do with the aftercare. So if you're having to, spend all that money in having a hair transplant, it's better to just say, look, I need to be able to, I need to be able to do it somewhere where I can go back and have the aftercare. Just as an aside, we've had some patients who have come back after going to Turkey and have come back for remedial surgeries with us, only because the Turkish transplant specialists they don't have that experience with Afro hair. So they've come back to us, for corrective surgery, having spent thousands of dollars in Turkey. So these are all the things that we pride ourselves in. These are all the things that we, when we talk about the clinic, these are the things that we promote to say, look, we are your choice, we are the best choice for you, especially if you're in this part of Africa. You don't need to go anywhere else. And then just to address some of my Ghanaian compatriots, and I've heard some comments in the past about what people have heard in the news, and all that about Nigeria. And it's understandable. I mean, I watch the news sometimes, and it's easy for you to think, oh, if I'm hearing all these stories about this particular country, the whole country must be absolute hell. And that is not the case in Nigeria. Absolutely not the case. A lot of the bad news that people tend to focus on, and this is a fault of the media, happens at least about 500 miles up in the north. Our clinic is based in Lagos on the coast, 500 miles away from any trouble or any terrorist or whatever people are scared of. Lagos is a very safe city. Very safe. We pick you up from the airport by our own driver with our own vehicle, and we drive you to the clinic. And we have a hotel right next door to the clinic where we would lodge you for the 2 or 3 nights that you're going to be spending in Lagos. We would obviously bring you to the clinic to have your procedure and then take you back to the hotel for you to have dinner and all that. And then once you're ready, we would then drive you back to the airport to catch your flight home. Unless you want to, you don't even need to have any interaction at all with Lagos. I mean, you probably won't see anything apart from what you're going to be saying whilst driving back and forth from the airport. So it's a very safe city. That is one of the reservations people have. And I will tell you the reason why we do that. Sorry, very quickly, Blessings. The reason why we have a surgical center in Lagos is simply for economics. We cannot have the expertise and the experience and the skills spread across many clinics, because you don't want people who have acquired these skills and experience just sitting around for days having no work to do. It's very demoralizing. So we created a center in Lagos where everybody from all the different parts of West Africa can come and have their procedure done. It makes perfect sense because you're concentrating the skills and experience and the expertise in one center. And then obviously economics, it makes cost, it makes cost sense, not to have to replicate all that in all the different clinics. So that was the rationale. No other reason for the reason why we have a surgical center centralized in Lagos.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Ayo. I mean, that was, I think, extensive and comprehensive enough. And I think that he's even answered some of the questions in the comment section. But we have about 5 to 7 minutes to answer questions. And we have a list of questions. You can still keep your questions coming. We'll see if we can take all the questions. This question cuts across everybody. So I'll just read the question and then point out who is to answer. So I think the first question here has been answered by Dr. Eluba, but I'm going to read it all the same. Someone says, please, will you go under anesthesia or the donor area will be numb? And I think Dr. Eluba already did justice to that. Another person is asking, is this available in the UK? I would leave Mr. Ayers to answer it, but I'm sure he already explained from the last few sentences he made about us having a specific area where people with the expertise come and then do the procedure. But I'll leave him to just quickly answer that so we can.
Yes, we are headquarters in the UK, so the London clinic actually by far has the largest number of theatres, and most of the medical doctors are based in the UK. So yes, we have a surgical centre there.
All right. Then someone else says, can we see pictures before and after without the dye? I think this question goes to Prince. I mean, obviously not now, but like, do you have plans of showing them?
This is that's the hair. There's no dye.
Okay. Well, I mean,
there's no dye anywhere.
The video won't lie, so there it is.
Yeah, that's me here. That's the hair. You can see it. You can see the hair over there.
And we expect it to get better.
Yeah, man.
All right. Thank you for that. So another question here is it that expensive? And I'm just going to merge two questions because I also saw a question where it says, is the cost of accommodation and feeding included in the price, Mr. Ayo?
Yes, simple answer to that. Yes, it is.
Okay. So someone else wants to know, was the surgery done in Ghana? I think
it was done in Lagos, Victoria Island, Ikoyi. It was done at the Vinci Hair Clinic.
All right.
Very big surgery room, very neat, very, very clean.
All right. So someone else is asking, how about us that can't go to Lagos, Mr. Ayo?
No, so I think
I think I'm going to push the question back in. Look, I think we're talking about
maybe I should tell them how the journey went for me, because it's very simple. It's like you going on a vacation. I left Ghana on Friday. I got to Lagos on Friday, rested. Saturday morning around 9-10 a.m. They prepped me up at the clinic. We were ready for the surgery. We got done with the surgery around 3 or 2:30 or 3 p.m. I went back to my hotel. The next morning, I was on my way to Ghana. That's it. It was so simple. Yeah, nobody even knew I'd done anything because I was wearing bandana. The Durac. Yeah, they gave me a Durac. That's it. Very simple.
Very simple.
Yeah, so
in Lagos, like, I'm here for you. I'll be your tour guide.
I have been filming in Nigeria a lot. I'm more like a Nigerian. So there's nothing to worry about. There's nothing to Nigeria. Nobody really has your time because nobody knows you. Everybody go about doing their own stuff. So I don't know why people have that perception about Lagos. I go in and out of Nigeria every now and then.
All right. Thank you for that. Okay, so this question is to Dr. Luba. Does transplant fix baldness for a lifetime? And are the clients supposed to be on DHT?
Yeah, transplant can be done for hair and beard as well.
Okay.
Somebody's asking if transplant can be done for the beard. They do it as well.
Okay, yeah. So maybe I'll answer that too in one breath. Okay. So yes, the transplants that we do are permanent procedures. These are not temporary procedures. They are permanent procedures. You know that where we get the hair from, like I said, is from a donor area that is unaffected by the same factors that cause male pattern baldness. Yeah. So, there are things that cause your hair to fall off, and there are parts of your hair that don't get affected by that. So when we perform your transplant, we take the hair from those parts where you're not going to get affected. So the question about DHT blockers is an important question. We follow up case by case to ensure that people who need to be on these medications are on them for as long as they need them. The issue with that is hair loss is progressive. Many times we work on an area. If you do not use the right medication, you could start to lose hair on the parts we've not worked on. You could start to lose hair continuing into the areas where you did not have hair loss before. But the hair that is transplanted does not go away. It's permanent, yeah? And hair transplant procedures can be done on the eyebrows, on the beards, we do all sorts of procedures, eyebrows, beards, not just the hairline, okay? So if you have, if you need a beard, your eyebrows are gone, you want a mustache, you want a goatee, all of these are possible with a hair transplant procedure. We just have to identify that you're the right candidate, you've got the right quality of hair, and then we'll go ahead and do that. So all you need to do is book a consultation. We have clinics in Abuja, in Ghana, Accra, Ghana, in Lagos. Book a consultation, and we'll know if you're the right fit for that.
And consultation is absolutely free, just so you know. Okay, so very quickly, someone is asking a question that has been answered by Mr. Ayo, but for those who are just joining, I would like Mr. Ayo to answer that again. The person says, if I'm coming to Nigeria, I don't have to worry about hotel, right?
No, we will pick you up at the airport. In fact, we would arrange everything for you, including buying your tickets. We'll pick you up from the airport in Lagos with our vehicle and our driver, drive you to the hotel, which is right next door to the clinic. And then the next day, the nurses will bring you to the clinic for your procedure. Then you go back to the hotel to sleep. And then, our driver will take you back to the airport for your flight back to Accra or Freetown or wherever. And that's it. So it's an all-inclusive package that we offer.
All right, so I think that is all. But if we still have more questions, we have about 2 more minutes to take them. But while we're waiting for the questions, just to summarize, Vinci Hair Clinic is your one-stop shop for everything hair restoration. If you've been bothered about your hair, the confidence that you've lost due to maybe your receding hairline, bald patches, whatever, we are here to help you. You literally don't have to travel to Turkey or anywhere outside the country to get your procedure done. And it's not just hair transplants. It ranges depending on your hair concerns, and that's why we ask that you book a consultation session. And if I haven't said it, I'm saying it again, that consultation is absolutely free. So in case you're single, at least Prince is married and is having ladies flock his DM. In case you're single and you want ladies, there's still time. You know, Valentine is next week. If you want ladies in your DM, you know what to do. So basically, that's just what it is. And again, to remind you, consultation is free. Prince has a code that you can use. It's Prince 10, and this is a special package for those who are joining us live, because I don't think that we've mentioned that anywhere else. So it has a code Prince 10. You can use to get your own session, and we would also like that you check out our website, vincihairclinic.africa, and follow us across all socials. Vinci Hair Nigeria, Vinci Hair Ghana. We can also answer your questions via those platforms in case you have any questions after now. So that said, I would also like to say that you can get any information via Vinci Hair. So whatever other information on our phone number, our address, whatever follow-up questions you have, please do also follow us on our page, and there'll be someone stationed to answer your questions. So without wasting time, I want Prince to, advise people who are looking to get their procedures done, but for some reason are reluctant or scared or skeptical. So just tell them something.
Okay, so my brothers, I never knew hairline was a big problem. Trust me. Maybe that's why I wasn't getting more beautiful girls. I didn't know. I was just going up. I was always getting around girls. I was going about my business. You know, it kind of, it boosts your self-confidence. I don't have to wear the cap anymore. You know, I used to wear cap at every occasion, and people go like, why are you always on a cap, Because personally, I didn't really realize it. I didn't think it was a big deal. It was when people close to me started talking about the hairline. Sometimes when I do movies and I watch it myself, I see the V shape. I'm like, okay, let me go bald. And when I finally went bald, people were like, oh, you're not looking as sexy as you used to look, But finally, here I am. So, brother, boost your self-confidence, look good for yourself, not necessarily for any lady. Look good for yourself, and be proud of yourself. So I'm treating all of you. This thing, I've done it. Some of our colleagues have done it. It is beautiful. When I look at myself in the mirror, I can see my hairline. I never had one. You understand? So I'm entreating you, when you use the Prince code 10, you're going to have a discount. If you have any questions about it, you can always DM me like some of you do. I'll answer your questions. Or better still, you can consult Vinci Hair Ghana. They're on Instagram, and they'll sort you out. It's not a big deal. It's nothing to be worried about. It's nothing to be scared about. Lagos is a beautiful place. You do the whole consultation in Accra, Ghana. The office is located at Afikiko, close to TV3. So walk in there, freely, have your consultation, and let's get going. The next time I see you, I want to see you with a hairline, fuller hair. Ladies do things to enhance their beauty and boost their confidence so they can get more markets. How much more women that I always give you money to ladies. Let's go, boys.
And I think same also applies to ladies too, because I mean, ladies can also get hair transplant and hair procedures. So thank you so much, Prince, for sharing your story. Thank you for the encouraging words. And I would also like to say that for those who are looking for boys and girls in their DMs, again, it's a reminder. This is one of the secrets. You never can tell. They'll block your.
It's all about the hairline.
I know, it's all about the hairline. Thank you so much. I think that we can now put this to rest. But don't forget, if you have any more questions, you can reach out to us via our website or our social media handles, or just walk into our offices. He has given the Ghana address. We're also located at Ikoyi in Lagos, and trust me, there's nothing to be scared about. We would cater to you once you come in to get your procedures done. It will feel like you're literally on a vacation and you won't have any stress whatsoever. I want to say a big thank you to our brand ambassador, Prince David Osei. Thank you, and your hair looks amazing, by the way. We can't wait to see the final results.
Thank you.
And how many girls will come along with that one. And I also want to say thank you to Vinci Clinic Africa hair transplant surgeon, Dr. Emmanuel Iluba, and of course our Africa CEO, Mr. Ayo Otubajo. Okay, you want to say something?
A quick one. You see, the hair transplanting is also good for ladies. Ladies who have receding hairline, ladies who are losing their hair. What I can assure them is everything we do there is confidential. People walk in, get their thing done. Nobody talks about it. Nobody posts them. The reason we are talking like this is because I'm the brand ambassador. That is why I'm talking. There are a lot of people going, celebrities going, get it done, and nobody hears from them. Yeah. So ladies can also walk in. It's a very private, thing. Yeah. So
it is. Thank you for pointing that out. Thank you. I mean, all you might notice is someone who used to wear cap before just stopped wearing cap. Someone who used to love wigs before just stopped loving wigs as much. We won't say anything if you don't want to say anything. But once again, thank you, Prince, for pointing that out. I think that with that said, we can now allow you to go enjoy your weekend. But I would also like to say that we're going to save this video and put it on our page. So feel free to share it with someone. You might not be the one who needs it, but I can bet that out of 10 people that at least 3 need this information. So please do well to share it. Ask us any questions we can answer. Maybe just not on a live session like this, but we'll definitely answer. You can send a DM. You can send your question.
Yeah, no more cap. No more cap.
We'll definitely do justice to that. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for joining us. It's been an absolute pleasure being your host. My name is Blessings Mosugu, and thank you again to our ambassador, our surgeon, and of course the CEO for doing justice to the questions. We appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.